Hello YouTube, my name is Athieno and welcome back to another Rainbow Six Siege video. Today we're going to be talking about rotations and reinforcements. So this is kind of a new series I've been doing on my channel along with many other series I will be doing in the future. But don't forget to leave a like and on this video if it does help you, and subscribe if you are new because I upload almost every single day, just helping guys out with Siege and also my stream highlights. To watch, if you can't make it to my streams, I'll post them on YouTube, but otherwise I stream almost every single day on Twitch, twitch.tv/Athieno. I post also on Instagram and TikTok about more Siege content if you guys can't make it to those YouTube videos, right? So, without being said, Vela doesn't have many rotations, but it's important to always have some rotations because they only need one or two, but it's important where people would know where to reinforce correctly and where to not reinforce. So you obviously need this wall, this wall, because you don't want the angle into, that way the attackers don't get the angle to balcony. Don't open this up unless you guys are not doing a strat, but most of the time you want to reinforce these two walls because it just makes it harder for you to defend. This whole wall right here, some people might think like, okay, let's open up this whole wall so we can see on the other side. No, do not do this. This is a little bit incorrect because if they get control of this site, they can see the whole entire site and it's a lot harder to defend. So instead, let's imagine this is all closed off, and you want to make it always on the far right side. You want to make a crouched, that way you can move in from here. This whole wall should be kind of soft and kind of just, it depends how the round goes, if you need a shotgun for C4, all that kind of stuff and all that. Get these two bar walls reinforced because bar is a really good anchor spot on this map, or on this site. So having this wall is a lot easier for you to defend, and we want these two walls reinforced and those two walls reinforced, and last one, the single wall, don't forget that one in vault, that way they can't get control on the site. These two walls I don't see reinforced a lot, but you make sure that those walls are reinforced, that way they don't get sight into from the hallways, and it makes it a lot harder to do. So that's it for Aviator, and let's move on to Trophy, the Trophy rotations in Master. So in Trophy, all you really have to do is just make, everyone should know that the far left side of this wall into Astronomy is supposed to be a rotate, because most of the time Astro is considered a little bit of the bomb site, but it's really good to contest this area, that way attackers don't get access into A and B, because that's a very where you're going to be anchoring. So Astro is definitely a good spot to anchor down. If the attackers get a control of Astro, it's honestly could be anyone's game at that point. So all you need to know is that you should make this a rotate right here. Make sure you're able to walk through these as well. That's it, and then you can reinforce these two walls if you would like, but always make sure you have this whole massive wall reinforced. And if you have extra reinforcements, use it on this bathroom wall, that way they can't get in too many lines in sight. So that's about most of the reinforcement that everyone should make. If you want, you can actually shoot this hole right here and then see into Master Door when they're planting and all that kind of stuff. You can throw smokes, you could possibly chuck a C4 over there if you kind of place it right, but otherwise that's basically it. Do try not to reinforce off that wall, because if you reinforce off this wall, then it can be very hard for your team to rotate in between sites, and it just overall it hurts the team. So that's it for this site. Let's move on to Kitchen and the other library bomb site. Alright, so a site like Kitchen, where there's a lot of open area and a lot of doors for enemies to access to, as well for other defenders to rotate into, Kitchen doesn't really need to rotate. I mean, unless you guys are doing some weird strat, you can open up this wall, or maybe like this wall. Some people are thinking you might want this, but this is actually sometimes could be a bad rotation if your team is not going to be aware or playing around this. Because if you just make this randomly, then attackers and other people would sit right here and not realize the door is exposed. So it's best to leave this soft, but this is probably the only rotation that you'll need in order to move in between sites pretty easily. So don't be making any weird holes that you don't know. If you don't know how to make a rotate, maybe try asking someone in game chat. But I think the thing about rotates is sometimes if your team is unaware about those holes, it can actually end up hurting the defense because you're exposed and people have to mix it up and all that kind of stuff. So Kitchen is a very open site, so you don't really need any rotates. Let's just move on to the last site, Library. So Library and Living, mostly like once you start ranking up, this bomb site becomes a little bit more difficult to hold, and most of the time those other three options are where people are going to be defending. But if you do happen to go on this site, the only rotations I would say for you is probably the one in between sites like this little vault room right here, And if you want to apply this to other maps, just if you don't know where the rotates are, kind of look at, okay, where can I make a hole in between A site and B site without making trouble for my team. So for any other kind of site like that. But that's basically it for, you know, all of Villa. Villa is a very close quarter-ish map with a lot of open doorways and all that kind of stuff. So rotations are not really needed that much. But I hope this video did redirect you guys into making rotations a lot better. If you guys want to see more maps, I will be doing every single map of the rotations and reinforcements and all that kind of stuff. So only on this site, you want to reinforce these 2 walls at last, because there's that window right there that can see into site. But you want to get those 2 walls, the vault walls, and then obviously the trip wall right here. If you have extra reinforcements, it's always good to get these 2 walls as well. That's why I always say it's last to get that wall, because these 2 in the hallway. But it's really up to your team. If you play library, it just comes down to the gun skill and the plant at the end of the day. So make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and I will catch you guys in the next video.